virtual interaction with Honorable External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is visiting Kenya for an official visit and a session of India-Kenya Joint Commission. It's a huge privilege and honor for us to welcome Honorable Minister to Kenya. As you know, this visit at the level of External Affairs Minister from India to Kenya is after a long gap of about 10 years, and that makes the visit even more special. Thank you so much for expressing your interest in meeting Honorable Minister, and since community outreach happens to be an important area of work for the High Commission, we had been thinking of how best to utilize the time that we have to have a meeting to enable you to meet and greet Honorable Minister. It is understandable that it hasn't been possible to have this meeting in a physical format because the virus is not allowing us, and while we were preparing for this meeting, I would like to thank you for your understanding for helping us to organize this virtual meeting. The format of this interaction is very simple. I would invite Honorable Minister to make his brief initial remarks. Then I would invite individually some of the members of the Indian community, and I would like to encourage you to come forward and explain to Honorable Minister about your activities and what your thoughts about the relationship that you have with India, about your activities, and how we could work better together. I would now like to invite Honorable Minister for his brief comments. Sir.
Thank you, High Commissioner. Dear friends, my fellow Indians of Kenyan heritage, it's a pleasure to meet with all of you today. The pleasure, of course, would have been much greater had we met in person, but I'm sure you understand that because of the COVID situation, this was the more prudent way of doing the event. I'm really very pleased to be back in Nairobi. I was here the first time accompanying the Prime Minister. Many of you would, I'm sure, remember that event. Certainly I remember that event, especially the meeting he did with the community in the stadium. You know, I've traveled quite extensively with him, and certainly that is one of the more memorable tours that we did. This time around, I'm here because we are holding the Joint Commission with Kenya, the third meeting of the Joint Commission with Kenya. I came in yesterday. I had a long meeting with my counterpart, Foreign Minister Rachel Omamo, discussing various foreign policy issues. Tomorrow we would be holding the Joint Commission. I will be hopefully calling on His Excellency the President. I'm also meeting a number of other ministers in a round table. I would be also taking part in a function with the renovation of the Mahatma Gandhi Library, which was one of the commitments made when Prime Minister Modi was here. And in fact, just now this afternoon, I've completed a business event with the India Business Forum. But no visit is usually complete without a meeting with the community, so I felt that this was important to do, particularly so in a country where, you know, I know that the community has a very high standing, that its contribution to the development of this country has been enormous. And I must say, even in the day that I've been here, I've heard from a number of people in the Kenyan leadership, even the officials I've been dealing with, really what's been the contribution of the community. And I no, I see it's really quite, something which I recognize and respect. I mean, it's not just that the Indian community and Kenyans of Indian heritage have been here for a long time. I mean, from what I understand, you run schools, you have places of worship. Your charity work is something which again I see people talking about. It's really very much a fact that you've been a very effective bridge in building a relationship between India and Kenya, and I would really urge you very much to continue in that role, because it is something which certainly both governments value very much. Now, when you have a community of Indian origin, or we have a large number of Indians living in a country, it's natural that the High Commission also would give priority to the consular side of our relationship. I'm very happy that is indeed the case. And High Commissioner, that you have adjusted, you've been flexible in terms of meeting the demands of a COVID situation. I gather that many of a lot of flexibility has been introduced in terms of meetings and open houses and inquiries, how they responded to. And I also am happy that some of the requirements of travel back to India for medical reasons are also being met, as and when, of course, travel continues to remain possible. The other, I would say regular issue that comes up with Indian communities abroad is, of course, the utilization of fellowships, ICCR fellowships, ITEC fellowships, the Study in India program, and I see there's a lot of interest there, and I would continue to encourage you in that direction. So let me share with you also what is happening in India, because I think that is something which is of natural concern for all of you. You all know we went through a very severe second wave of the COVID. In fact, we're still going through it. But from the peak of where it was, which was about a month ago, today, if you take the number of new cases as an index, we are down to about 20% of what the peak was. I think the general sense, looking at the positivity rates coming down, the pressures on the hospital, I mean, it is clearly now very much on the decline. There was no question that this was a very, very severe public health challenge to us. And I can share with you, as someone who's both part of the response and have observed other very aligned with the Kenyan government in pursuit of their development priorities, and find ways by which our partnership is more meaningful. We have now started to think of our 75th anniversary of our independence, India at 75, and I thought I should also take the occasion to urge you all to participate more closely with it. The High Commission, I think, would be putting out a set of activities, and again, your participation, I think, can make a big difference there. And of course, we are very close to the International Day of Yoga, so there again, that is one activity where I think you are natural stakeholders, and you have the ability to enthuse others in your society as well. So what I would like to do, Commissioners, perhaps conclude at this point of time. I would like to listen to community representatives, hear their concerns, their interests, and certainly if there are issues which require my response, I'll be happy to do so.
Thank you, sir, for your opening remarks. The Indian origin community here, I would like to share with you that the community has been very forthcoming, very generous in joining hands with the High Commission here in promoting various India-related activities. And in the context of India at 75, we are going to come forward with a series of activities where we will look forward to their continued support. Now, sir, with your permission, I would like to invite some individual community leaders to make their comments. To start with, may I invite Mr. Kamal Gupta, the chairman of Hindu Council of Kenya. Kamalji, over to you.
Namaste, very good afternoon, Your Excellency, and very warm welcome to our Minister, Dr. Jaishankar. In fact, we are very honored, very humbled to receive you second time, as you mentioned, because all those memories are still alive and still vibrant in our memories while we receive our own leader, the global leader, none other than His Excellency Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And that is what I always mention, that we always keep India in our heart, and that is the remark which we not only state in our wording but in our actions. Every time we ensure that as a community we demonstrate ourselves in the best possible way. As Your Excellency mentioned, my name is Engineer Kamal Gupta. I am the National Chairman of Hindu Council of Kenya. Very quick about Hindu Council of Kenya. This is an umbrella body for all more than 150 institutions, Hindu institutions. That's regional temples and even regional institutions. And that is how we are playing our role as a representing body, or maybe as a unified voice of our community. And primarily, every nook and corner is represented under the Council of Kenya, whether people from north, whether people from Gujarat, Maharashtra, south of India side, and even other part of India. So we are creating this as a amalgamation in the form of bringing everyone together and creating a small India within Kenya. So with this, our mission and objective is not only to bring a unified voice for our community at large, but at the same time ensuring that we always bring a proud moment as representing Indian community here in Kenya by doing our acts. So as in tough time of COVID, Hindu Council of Kenya and entire community played a very important role, and we are honored that we will be supported and guided and blessed by our Indian Mission and the team is primarily to support indigenous brothers and sisters. So this is very important, that how we bring our culture, our values primarily to be together with the people those are there in India, in Kenya primarily to bring their values. So with this note, I also wish to re-emphasize that we have always been there together with the mission, ambition and plans, and we are very humbled, as I mentioned, that every time, wherever need be, we will be supported, guided by His Excellency, and at the same time, we are always there to walk through together. In this IYT is one of the missions, this 20th is big, 21st is very close to, and we are celebrating a very big festival here in Kenya, and this is the 7th time we are creating this as a festival in Kenya by organizing this function of International Yoga Day. So with this, we ensure that we are always there, the mission and objective of our Indian High Commission and our Indian taking the respect and values of our own primarily community in this country. I just wish to also mention that as we are Indian by heart and living, we are not only value our culture but also spread the same in indigenous society. By services, as I mentioned, relief and welfare activities, by love and compassion, that is the value, that is the feeling which we always have. Hindu community played very important role during the global pandemic by supporting underprivileged and received respect as Indians, since our philosophy teaches Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And in this value, in this thought, we always bring everyone together, and we play a very important role as a representative, as an ambassador. So I wish to ask, sir, as much as we as Indians are known across the world for our good values, intellect and deed, what would our homeland expect from us in your thought? That is one question which I wish to bring it, because we want to excel in our demonstration to make sure that you being there proud on diaspora. And second, which is a kind of a request, which I can say, that I have a request, is there a possibility to work for dual citizenship for our eligible diaspora in Kenya? Because we always feel our roots are there, and by carrying, not carrying Indian passport, we feel like we are somewhere attached. So this is a request, and thank you so very much. Warm welcome, Karibu Sana, to Kenya, and look forward to see you again and again here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kamalji, for your comments. Using this opportunity, I would like to inform Honorable Minister that the Hindu Council of India and also your various branches in the various counties in Kenya have been very supportive to the High Commission when we go county to county, organizing consular camps to serve the Indian communities in various countries, especially during this difficult COVID period. May I now invite...
Why don't I take it one at a time, because maybe the questions will be a little bit... Kamalji, first of all, good to see you, and I would say to a community leader of your stature, please keep up your good work. I'm so glad that the 2016 visit is so fondly remembered. So now your two questions: what do you expect from us, and the dual citizenship issue? Look, what do we expect from today Kenyans of Indian heritage? We expect you to really be a bridge. You yourself used this term Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. India has always had space in its heart, in its mind, in its thoughts for the whole world, which is why we have the extraordinary pluralism that we have in India. It's actually our unique characteristic. Now, when people of Indian heritage go abroad and make a home for themselves and do well and contribute there, you actually define India in the minds of the society where you live. So your success, your achievements, your endeavors of various kinds, this is really what the average Kenyan would think of India. So in many ways you are already doing what we expect of you, but by being true to your country while maintaining your heritage, that is the bridge which you actually help create. And as we become I would say more prominent in the world, today we are the 5th or 6th largest economy. By the end of the decade we will be hopefully the 3rd largest economy. You can already see in the world India's stature in many ways has grown. Most international discussions, we are there, we are shaping the agenda. People want to know what is India's thoughts, what is India's role, what is India's contribution. So such an India needs more understanding, more friends, more partners, and that's exactly where I think people of Indian origin who have gone abroad can make a difference. Now, I think you would also recognize the citizenship issue is not a new issue. there are complications. I think the Indian system, with a great deal of thought, arrived at what was a reasonable solution, where the desire to be attached to the land of your origin was recognized, and the desire to be true to the land of your domicile and nationality was also respected. And that's how the overseas OCI, earlier PIO and then the OCI schemes came about. So I think at the moment our effort would be to make those schemes, the OCI scheme work. It will keep, with changing world, there will be new issues, things which we may not have foreseen 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They will come up. We'll want to make this work smoothly. So I would say that's where I would like to keep the focus.
May I now invite Mukta Patankar ji, General Secretary, Maharashtra Mandal. Mukta ji.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, Honorable Minister. It's a pleasure to interact with you today. I'm Mukta Patankar. I'm the General Secretary of Maharashtra Mandal, Nairobi. Maharashtra Mandal, Nairobi here brings together all the Marathi families through celebration of different festivals. Also, we undertake different cultural programs also. Here we try to promote Marathi language, especially amongst our kids. I feel very proud to tell you that we are among one of the oldest institutions in Kenya. Last year only we have completed 75 years of our existence in Kenya. My question will be about something which is very close to our hearts, or I can say rather close to our hearts. Here in Kenya, we get to enjoy almost all kinds of fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables throughout the year. Apple mango, you must have heard, it is very famous, very delicious. But the Indian diaspora, especially the Maharashtrians, we miss our Hapus Amba, Alfonso Amba so dearly. So I just wanted to ask, even the avocados of Kenya, they are famous in India. So is it possible that the trade of these two can be established? Hapus Amba from Maharashtra and avocado from Kenya.
I hear your question with a lot of sympathy and understanding, because Alfonso I would have guaranteed anyway, but this time, in fact, I just at lunch today in my salad had the avocado here, and I can go back and tell people really Kenyan avocado is of a class of its own. So what can be
in all aspects, including political aspects. We through the respect of our participation with the locals. They also believe that we contribute a lot towards the economy, and they believe also our participation is very healthy. Your Excellency, the question of US citizenship, I don't want to expound on it. It is very necessary because other countries are already allowing such things. And India is part of Commonwealth country. We are in East Africa is also the Commonwealth country. So it will be quite fair if the Indian government looks takes serious note over the US. Your Excellency, the sad part of the diaspora in Kenya is not well, I say well organized, because we used to always depend on the Hindu Council as an umbrella body. But there has been a lot of challenges. So we are not Hindus. Why we be a member of Hindu Council? So we tried our best to pass through some leadership of personality of like Manu Chandaria, that we organize ourselves to another forum which we have organized already as Asian Foundation. And I don't know if Asian Foundation chairman or the secretary is with me in today's meeting. Because this one will embrace all communities together as Asian, regardless of whether it's Hindu, Sikh, Isn't Bora, and the like. So all of them come together as Asian community. Because by and large, today we have known now in the country as the 40th tribe as Asian. So I would like to cement here that the Asian Foundation be the overall umbrella body of all members of tribes. This is very important. I will request our High Commissioner, Dr. Paul, to reorganize kind of a forum, even through this Zoom media, that we all collectively come together again, and we become very strong community. My name, I think you have already been told as the secretary and also population coordinator of the Bora community. I have been a member of parliament one time, and also assistant minister for labor. And that's why I say we have all the opportunities in our hands, but we have not exploited properly. In other words, we have not come together, to excel into more meaningful areas.
Right. Okay. I think Mr. Muhammad Ali, perhaps the High Commissioner may want to make a comment before I do.
To begin with, Mr. Muhammad Ali, thank you so much for your comments. Using this opportunity, I would like to inform Honorable Minister that the Bora community in Kenya have been standing with us in the High Commission at all times. And thank you so much for your participation, active participation in all India-related activities. As you know, and we have had conversations in the past, the High Commission deals with the Indian origin community. And it has been a tradition of the High Commission to interact and deal with the various communities representing India. And in this context, we have been interacting with you, working together with you. We have been working together with the Hindu Council of Kenya. We have been working together with various other Indian origin communities your suggestion of having a larger umbrella India origin organization, your suggestion to the minister, our honorable minister will react to it, but it has served us well. It has served the High Commission very well. It has served the individual communities representing India very well, the way, the format that we have been using so far. Thank you for your suggestion, and I would request Honorable Minister to kindly react to your suggestion.
Thank you. Mr. Muhammad Ali, from the time I came here, I've heard only good words about the community from everybody I met. And when a community is held in high standing, I think the community should be capable of organizing itself to represent its interests in the best possible manner. Clearly, it has done so for many years, because otherwise you wouldn't be, it wouldn't be the case that the Indian origin community is held in the kind of respect and esteem in which it has. So it appears that the past record has a lot to speak for itself, and I don't know, I'm just a person who's been here 48 hours. All I would say is I'm very confident that the kind of concerns you have raised will be debated and discussed within the community. I'm fully assured that you will find, all of you together, the best possible way of articulating your interests and contributing to the prosperity and progress of Kenya. So I leave all of this in the good hands of all the people I see in the screen in front of me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Mrs. Sujata Kotam Raju, representing Telugu Cultural Association. Sujata ji.
Karibu Kenya, Jambo, and Namaste, Honorable Dr. Jaishankar ji. Hope you are enjoying our Nairobi weather.
Absolutely.
Okay. My name is Sujata Kotam Raju. I am the National General Secretary of Hindu Council of Kenya and also Interfaith Council member, appointed by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, the President Uhuru Kenyatta. I am the only Asian and the only Indian lady there in that. So we, as a Hindu Council, we celebrated our Golden Jubilee celebrations this year. And we thank the Indian government and the Indian High Commission for sending the vaccination to Kenya. So my question is here, when are we getting the next consignment to Kenya? For the first dose we received from India, everyone in Kenya, we are so happy. And when can we get this second dose? We are around 50 million in this country. That is my first question. And the second one is our education and cultural exchanges. So it is to increase the number of scholarships and the cultural exchanges programs for Kenyan students to India. Last night, on one of our national channel, our Hindu Council, we arranged our culture, traditions and food. It is 1 hour program. The way the local people they responded, they sent the comments, you have this much culture, this much of tradition, especially the vegetarian dishes we are having. They were so surprised seeing this 1 hour program. So that is my, and also this our Bollywood is the leading film center. The word the people watch here, and also they translate into these local languages like Swahili, Kikuyu. The people they do the dubbing here. The likes of people they really enjoy our Bollywood movies. And also it was noted that the UN has declared the International Year of Creative and Cultural Industries. So we can do the education coordination with the UNCTD and Kenya. We do some of the film industry to develop here. Here the locals are, if you see, they're talented. we can give them some training or something. We can develop this film industry here. And my third one is on medical equipment and support. This one we are doing a lot to people really happy with our Indian treatment. People go any small, any cancer patient, the first thing they go to India. And here the medical is very expensive. This is not common people here. India can develop them, they can send them the medical equipment and the drugs. People will be very happy. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Thanks for the Indian High Commission to organize this webinar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sujata ji, where vaccines are concerned, India is one of the major producers of the vaccine. We had made some commitments to the COVAX initiative. The vaccine producer in India had made commitments to the COVAX initiative, and much of the vaccines which came to Kenya came either through the COVAX initiative or through a bilateral supply which Government of India gave. Now that was done at a time when, before the second wave, when our own numbers were quite low. In fact, if you look at the new cases number in the month of February, the new cases number was as low as 10,000 a day. Now, in the course of the next few weeks, you saw the second wave. The second wave was very much bigger than anybody had modeled for, had anticipated, and it actually went up more than 40 times, from 10,000 cases a day to 400,000 cases a day. So it is natural that when you have this kind of intensity of a second wave, that you will focus on addressing that as the first priority. Today what we have done is we have stepped up the vaccination program in India, and that we know that the world understands this is today where the main problem is. After all, the largest number of cases even today in the world are coming out of India. So as Indians, the vaccination program in India progresses, and we are very confident that we'll be, because we also had some production issues, that there are new vaccines which are coming on stream. Some of them are going to be produced in the next few weeks. Still newer ones are going through trials. Once they are approved, they will also be produced. So the situation will be very different in the coming weeks and months, where there will be more vaccines, more numbers of the production number. I think we'll have to revisit the issue, but right now I think the world should understand that given the intensity of the second wave, the size of the second wave, it is natural that that is where the Indian focus is going to be. On your issue of scholarships, we would certainly encourage that. It is something I expect to discuss tomorrow, that what do we do so that we have more exchanges between India and Kenya. On an average, we do 400 plus scholarships which are offered to Kenya. Certainly, given the closeness of our relations and the importance of these exchanges, that number could reasonably increase. So I note your interest. I think it is, to my mind, exchanges are the best investment that anybody can make. So I certainly will see that as a priority. What you said about the film industry, I will pass it along, but at the end of the day, film is very much industry-driven activity. The role of the government can pass the word, it can encourage. Often I hear of countries which give incentives to bring in the film industry, but it's not something which is a direct remit of the government. So beyond encouragement, there is limits to what we can do. And finally, on the health and medical side, absolutely, I think what one impact of COVID has been, it has made the health sector very prominent in everybody's thinking, and we will be discussing it. There is already a lot of talk about how we can improve on the model where many people, many Kenyans have to go to India for treatment. Are there better ways? Are there more cost-effective ways, more convenient ways of doing it? That's something which is very much on our mind.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Mr. Naveen Bhai Shah, representing Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh, Kenya. Mr. Shah, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I am Naveen Shah, immediate and trustee of Hindu Religious Service Center. Hindu Religious Service Center is a Seva wing of the Hindu section. And we run Hindu section in Kenya from 1947. So next year we are also celebrating 70 years of our existence in Kenya. Okay, some of our highlights of the activities, Seva activities that we at the moment we are feeding 18,000 school children in the rural area by giving them hot lunch. Secondly, in Kenya we have already planted 25,000 trees. So we encourage all the students to plant trees. Third project is infrastructure. In the rural area we go to all the schools, we try to improve the facilities like building kitchen, building toilets, building the classroom, give them furniture, even we provide the school fees to the needy students. We have also started the initiative of borehole because in a rural area, every woman has to walk at least 5 kilometers a day to fetch water. So we have started building boreholes in small villages. Even we are starting to build shallow wells. And in the school, we have started water harvesting. That is another project. Now we have started a project in educating African students. Just like Shaka activities in India, we have started Shaka activities among the African students. So at the moment, we have started at 18 places, and we try to educate the African boys and girls to be good citizens of the country and inculcate moral values in them. So this is a very successful project of ours. So we are doing these activities. Now regarding question, I have one or two suggestions to you.
It's frozen. From there and sir. No, not from.
Yeah. We as diaspora member always feel ourselves ambassador of India. We not only preserve our strong India culture and heritage, but also accordingly demonstrate the same with the local community to raise further respect towards our tradition and our cultural value. I understand that ICCR is helping to create Indian culture across the world. I wish to propose, if possible, can ICCR or other body identify members of diaspora who would be invited to India to share their connect with Indian tradition and culture to demonstrate the people of India and as NRI role models. This is one of the suggestions. Second, I would like to share another thing. Kenyan government on reciprocal for receiving COVID-19 vaccination from government of India sent 12 tons of tea, coffee and nuts to India to help frontline workers to re-energize themselves with Kenya tea, coffee and nuts. from Indian public. They have taken the gift from Kenyan government as a joke, insult. How is more nation is for some Indian citizens sending aid to India? How can Indian citizens be made aware? It was a kind gesture for the people government of India. So this should be taken. So these are two observations of mine.
Thank you. First of all, let me say I listened with great attention and a lot of respect to all the contributions that you and your organizations are making for, for young people, for students, for on tree planting, on on bore wells, all that you said. I think this is a very, very heartwarming story, and I'm so glad that this is exactly the kind of activities which give Indian origin community a good name in the societies where they are. Regarding the two specific points which you made, one, I would say this, we are always open to engaging with Pravasis to discuss how best to project our culture, how to nurture it, foster it, take it forward. In fact, we are not just open, we actually encourage it. We, as part of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas activities, which often take place between two annual, biannual meetings, we hold focused meetings in different areas. I will certainly note your point when we do the culture focus sessions. I will make sure that our people get in touch with you through the High Commission, and any inputs you can give us would be welcome. I'll also bring this to the attention of ICCR. They are headed by a very able and dynamic president, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe. So I will tell him that there are ways by which ICCR could benefit by closer interaction and drawing inputs from the community. Regarding what was sent from Kenya during the second wave of the COVID, look, let me say this. The entire international community across the world responded to what happened in India. They did so because on the one hand, people recognized this was something very intense, very serious. On the other hand, there's a very good feeling for India. There's a lot of affection for India, for its people. People saw India had also done things for the world. So, to me, when someone feels for you, everybody expresses it in their own way. Okay? I take the feeling. Okay? For me, if there's an expression of affection or of sentiment, I value it. I can tell you I value it, I know my government values it, and I'm very confident my people value it. I've had occasions where actually foreign ministers have called me up and said, look, we don't have anything practical to do. We just want to call you up and tell you we feel for you. I value that also. So please be assured that whatever concern there was in Kenya, whatever manner Kenya wanted to express its friendship and its affection for India, people in India fully understand that. So take that from me. Next.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite now Dr. Prakash Heda, a well-known orthopedic surgeon here in Nairobi, who is also a Pravasi Bharatiya awardee. Dr. Heda, over to you.
Excellency Dr. Virendra Kumar जी और ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर और कई संस्थाओं के मेरे साथी, शायद मैं सबको सुने आ रहा हूँ।
बिल्कुल।
आप सब लोगों के जो भारतीय लोग मूल के लोग हैं, आपने सबके बारे में बहुत अच्छी बातें सुनी, उनका योगदान सुना। एक मेडिकल व्यवसाय ऐसा है जो रास्ते पे चलते हुआ फकीर और हेड ऑफ द स्टेट सबसे मिलते हैं। तो शायद मैं इन सब के बारे में एक छोटा सा क्लिप बना के आपको कुछ बताने की कोशिश करूंगा। इंडियन डायस्पोरा और इंडियन मूल के लोग, जो भारतीय मूल के लोग हैं, इनका बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन इस देश में है और इसी कारण से इस एक्सेलेंसी ने इस कम्युनिटी को 46 कम्युनिटी करके आइडेंटिफाई देर से सही मगर किया है। इसके लिए मैं हमारे जो योगदान देने वाले लोग हैं उनका और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का शुक्रगुजार हूँ। जो आप लोगों ने अलग अलग चीजों में अपनी अपनी राय दी है, एक डॉक्टर होने के नाते मेरे मन में डॉक्टरी के अलावा कुछ दूसरे विचार आए हैं। उसमें एक है कि जैसे हम लोगों ने एक छोटी समझ के साथ बहुत बड़ा काम करके वैक्सीन निभाई पीढ़ियों से और कई सालों तक ऐसी कोई पद्धति चले। उसके हिसाब से मैं चाहता हूँ कि हम लोगों में खुशी बने। हमें इस कंट्री से बहुत कुछ सीखना है और सिखाना भी है। हमारे यहाँ की जो अलग अलग स्कीम्स है, छोटे मोटे कृषि के जो अच्छे उत्पादन है, उनका आदान प्रदान अगर हो तो शायद ये श्रृंखला बहुत देर तक काम आएगी। दूसरी बात जो मैं कर रहा हूँ वो है स्वस्थ जीवन की। स्वस्थ जीवन के लिए केन्या में कई लोग भारत पर निर्भर है। वही स्वस्थ जीवन की कुछ प्रिलिमिनरी बातें, प्रिवेंटिव मेजर्स हम लोग यहाँ से आदान प्रदान करके सिखाने की कोशिश करें। जो डॉक्टर धर्मेंद्र साहब ने काफी अच्छी तरह से इस देश का भ्रमण बहुत ही कम समय में किया है और काफी इन्होंने अपनी बातचीत से कई जगह से अपनी एक प्रतिभा से सबको जगाया है। इसी श्रृंखला में आगे सब बढ़ते रहे और इन दो देशों के संबंध और अफ्रीकन कॉन्टिनेंट के संबंध बहुत अच्छी तरह से बढ़े, ये मेरी शुभकामना है। बड़े भाई के नाती, क्योंकि अफ्रीका कॉन्टिनेंट 50+ देशों से बना हुआ छोटे छोटे देशों से, इसलिए मैं अपने आप को बड़े भाई कहता हूँ। पर हमारी संस्कृति के साथ हम लोग इनके साथ में लेकर चलने वालों में से है। वो जरूर आप कल आपकी मीटिंग में इनको भरोसा दिलाएंगे और इस भारतीय का आप यहाँ के इसमें बहुत बड़ा एक अपना जगह स्थापित करने में योगदान करेंगे। इससे आपकी जो यहाँ की एक विजिट है बड़ी अच्छी होगी और सफल होगी। आपका जो अनुदान है इस कठिन परिस्थिति में, जहाँ कोरोना का इधर बहुत बड़ा प्रस्ताव हो रहा है, आपने ये यहाँ आकर जो एक मिसाल दी है कि हम भारतीय, भारत, इंडिया यहाँ के केनिया के लोगों को और अफ्रीका खंड को बहुत अच्छी तरह से चाहते हैं और हमारा योगदान आपके साथ रहेगा। इस भावनाओं के साथ मैं आपसे प्रार्थना करूंगा कि आप जो भी इस कम्युनिटी के लिए अच्छा स्थान दिला पाएंगे जो कि है, फिर भी आप इसको ऊंचा उठाएंगे और हिज एक्सेलेंसी डॉक्टर वीरेंद्र साहब इसको आगे बढ़ाएंगे। इसी शुभकामनाओं के साथ मैं अपने वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर हेडा जी। जो आपकी जो राय जो थी, आपकी जो सोच जो थी, मैंने बहुत सीरियसली लिया है। पर मैं आपको ये बताना चाहूँगा कि हम अफ्रीका के साथ एक पार्टनरशिप चाहते हैं कि ताकि उनको भी लगे कि यह भागीदारी है, कि उनकी जो प्रायोरिटीज़ जो हैं उसके अनुसार हमें ये रिश्तों को आगे ले जाना है। और पिछले सालों में हम काफ़ी प्रगति कर चुके हैं इसमें। अगर आप देखें तो अफ्रीका के पूरे कॉन्टिनेंट में मैं अभी कहूँगा करीब 37 देशों में हमारे प्रोजेक्ट्स चल रहे हैं अभी। हम लोगों ने 5 साल 6 साल पहले उनको आश्वासन दिया था कि हम 50,000 स्कॉलरशिप चलाएंगे। अभी तक हम उसमें 40,000 तक दे चुके हैं और लोग आ भी चुके हैं। तो ये जो है हमें उनकी हित, उनकी सोच, उनकी अनुभव को सब मानते हुए इसको कैसे आगे ले जाएं, यह हमारी कोशिश है। जो आपने कहा मैं बिल्कुल मानता हूं। और मुझे लगता है कि जो यहाँ जो भारतीय मूल के लोग जो हैं, हमारी यहाँ जो कौम जो है, वो जो हमारी मैसेज को एक किस्म से एम्पलीफाई कर पाएगी। और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि आप भी उसमें साथ देंगे। थैंक यू
सर। सर अब मैं बुलाना चाहूँगा अभिषेक राणा जी को, जो सेक्रेटरी हैं पूर्वी अफ्रीका की हिंदी समिति के, और जो हिंदी प्रचार और प्रसार का काम कर रहे हैं। अभिषेक।
धन्यवाद डॉक्टर जी, भारतीय उच्चायुक्त, माननीय विदेश मंत्री जी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका हिंदी समिति ऑफ ईस्ट अफ्रीका की ओर से, और जो सभी लोग इस कार्यक्रम में जुड़े हुए हैं और कीनिया में जो भारतीय मूल के लोग रहते हैं, उन सभी लोगों की ओर से आपका हार्दिक स्वागत, अभिनंदन। हिंदी समिति ऑफ ईस्ट अफ्रीका वर्ष 2003 से कीनिया में हिंदी के प्रचार प्रसार के लिए प्रयासरत है। और इस कड़ी में हिंदी समिति ने काफी कार्यक्रमों का आयोजन किया है। गत वर्षों में काफी कार्यक्रम ICCR, भारतीय सांस्कृतिक संबंध परिषद, भारत सरकार की ओर से और भारतीय उच्चायुक्त के सहयोग एवं मार्गदर्शन में आयोजित किए गए हैं, जिसमें से हिंदी कक्षाओं का संचालन हिंदी समिति द्वारा प्रांगण में किया जाता है। कोरोना के इस कठिन समय में हिंदी समिति ने भारतीय उच्चायुक्त के सहयोग से और उपायुक्त और आशीष सिन्हा जी के सहयोग से कार्यक्रम का आयोजन लगातार रखा। वो वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म पर किया गया, जिससे हमारे लोग हिंदी के साथ जुड़े रहे हैं और आशावादी बने रहे हैं। हिंदी समिति की तरफ से मैं आपसे ये अनुरोध करना चाहूंगा कि जैसे हिंदी के प्रचार प्रसार के लिए विश्व हिंदी सम्मेलन मॉरिशस में 2018 में आयोजित किया गया था, उसी तरह से अफ्रीका हिंदी सम्मेलन का आयोजन किया जाए। और कीनिया में एक जो भारतीय मूल के लोग हमारे रहते हैं, हिंदी बोलने वाले लोग रहते हैं, तो उसमें वो सहयोग करने के लिए तैयार रहेंगे। ये बात पहले भी 2018 में हिंदी समिति ऑफ अफ्रीका की ओर से भारतीय उच्चायोग के माध्यम से विदेश मंत्रालय को दी गई थी। और जैसा कि आपसे भी जो वार्तालाप चल रहा है, इसमें मैं इस चीज को अनुरोध करना चाहूंगा। और मैं माननीय मंत्री से एक बात और बोलना चाहूंगा कि हम लोग समझते हैं कि भारत सरकार हिंदी भाषा के प्रचार प्रसार में बहुत गतिशील है और इस कड़ी में इस क्षेत्र के लिए कुछ एक नए कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया जाए जिससे ये भाषा जिस स्थिति में होनी चाहिए, जिस ऊंचाई पर होनी चाहिए, वो ऊंचाई पर पहुंचे। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू अभिषेक जी। एक तो मैं कहूँगा कि उच्चायुक्त से मैंने समिति के बारे में प्रशंसा ही सुनी है, तो मुझे पता है कि आप लोग बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। और मुझे ये भी जानकारी मिली है कोविड के कारण अभी कुछ बीच में कुछ रुकावट आई है, पर पूरा विश्वास है कि कोविड के बाद जो काम आप कर रहे हैं उसको आप आगे ले ही जाएंगे। जो इस क्षेत्र के बारे में जो हमें जो खासकर जो वर्ल्ड हिंदी सेक्रेटेरिएट के साथ जो मिलकर जो काम करना है, जो आपके सुझाव हैं, मैं ज़रूर उनके साथ मुझे एक बार बात करने दीजिए। और मैं इसमें ICCR का भी योगदान होता है, तो हम सब एक किस्म से मिलकर हमारी एक टीम है कि हम मिलजुल के काम करते हैं। तो जो आपके सुझाव जो हैं मैं बिल्कुल उसको मन में रखूँगा और मुझे वापस जाने दीजिए और हम लोग इसको आगे बढ़ाने की कोशिश करेंगे।
Thank you, sir. Before we conclude, I would like to say that the various comments that we heard today from the Indian diaspora, it shows the warmth and the instinctive admiration that the diaspora has for India and India-Kenya relations, and work together with the High Commission, and the community has my assurance that this tradition of our close relationship will be carried forward to make it even more closer together. With these words, sir, I would like to thank Honorable Minister for your...
No, I'd just like to end with one message, which is India at 75 is coming up. So I have every confidence, as I said in my initial remarks, that India at 75 will be a success in Kenya if the entire Indian community enthusiastically embraces it and works with a very strong partnership with the High Commission.
We'll carry it forward, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this huge privilege and honor to have this very productive conversation with the Indian diaspora. And thank you for your guidance. We'll carry our work forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.